with domination on Freight. And this is going to be one of the larger domination maps. Of course, MTARs are going to roll in the middle. Maybe some more vectors. We've seen quite a bit of vectors on land so far. But it could be anyone's game. And off the start, we have Optic Gaming right into the action. Embo's fighting his way for this B flag at the very opening after having 3 down on Envy. It's Optic Gaming with C and B control.
Yeah, that was a great start for Optic Gaming. Embo's just rushed straight towards that B flag. And as you said, Puckett, C and B currently in their control. And Embo's still just taking his time. Doesn't really want to push out, waiting for some of those Envy players to really push him. There's going to be one to his right-hand side. Makes some more work with Rambo, looking up to see if he can find anyone else, but he has his teammates. Clayster lane as well.
He's working so well with Scumpy on this far right side. Clayster was up top red doing the damage. He's now at 4-2, but Embo's, he is just playing this one so slow, so selfless. Watching that left side. Optic is not going to push for that third flag. They know that they can win the game with ease if they just have B control throughout. And Nadeshot staying alive in the middle and getting some claps with every kill. Let's see how he challenges here. Big kill, and he's not done yet.
That was a nice play from Nadeshot. Currently 5-2. But just as he pushed out a little bit further, he did get taken down. Meanwhile, Clayster on your screen, it's 6-2. And you just have to worry about him, don't you, if you're playing against something like that. He's just such a lethal slayer. He really is so very strong. And Optic now just getting a couple of players down, just need to try and recompose themselves.
They're getting so aggressive here. I didn't think they were pushing for a third flag, but here they are. You saw Embo spotting a player running out. He's going to get top of the building here and fire down from the window, just watching that beat from a new angle, but it's Envy charging back. Merc getting picked, but Nameless and Rambo are also in the mix. And look at this. It looks like Rambo's trying to get behind Optic's line. Can he go all the way to C and force this Optic squad to bounce back?
I really like this play from Rambo, just taking his time as well. Knows he has that time to work with, doesn't want to necessarily rush anything. 2 Optic players go down. That's going to be 3, and Rambo does a smart thing, rotate straight back towards that B flag, and you can see all those blue arrows on the top left of your screen. That's the Envy players. They dived on that B flag, and they've managed to capture it. Can Rambo now pick up a couple of kills? Not going to happen for him. Nature actually out shooting him there.
Yeah, Merc, the only name on this Envy squad currently going positive, and that is at 7-6. Study, a very slow start for him, and he's really the X factor for me. When Study goes big, Envy seems to win. Can Study get his slaying going? Because right now he's off to a terrible start at 3-6, although he did have the 2 caps.
Yeah, he does need to just try and pick things up a little bit as he picks up another kill for himself. He's going to be trying to cap that B flag. Not going to work out for him, though. And that's just going to leave Nameless just all by himself for that Envy roster. But you can see Embo is now on your screen. Looks like he's just going to put up a little bit more aggression. It's the familiar spot that we saw him at last time.
He's
really.
on the Embo's kegs.
The Embo's kegs. I like it.
And at the start here, we got Embo's pushing forward. We got 1:54 left in this round. Remember, this is the first of 2 sides of domination. 56-40 though. Optic Gaming crushing, and Nadeshot again on top of the leaderboard. He's currently 12-7.
Yeah, he is just doing such a good job of slaying right now. I mean, you know, you look at that Optic roster and you think, oh yeah, Clayster, Scumpy, 2 players who are always going to continuously be at the top of the leaderboard in terms of kills, but you've got Nadeshot really putting up a good performance, but 3 Optic players go down. Now it's going to be down to Scumpy to try and work some magic. Shuts down 1. He knows there's going to be another player over at the B flag, tries to challenge, and only manages to come out of that with the assist.
This has been such a strange game. Rarely do we see such evenly matched squads battling for just B control. Neither team has been able to get to the opponent's flag over at A or C. And Clayster trying to change that. Nice stun, jumps out, gets the headshot. Scumpy's going to charge in now as well. As Clay falls, Scump tries to react, but both get taken down. Embo's falls as well. All 4 dead. This is Merc, Nameless, and Study surging forward. That charge was Nameless, and he is going to keep pushing in. They have control for the last minute, but you know they're going to want to get a little contention on C if they can to even up the score at the half.
Yeah, that was huge play by Envy there, coming in the last minute of the first side. And you can see that scoreline, 72 for Optic, 62 for Envy. Such a close game. And if Envy can just try and hold this 2-1 flag lead, they're just going to reduce that Optic lead. And, you know, going into the second side, it's going to make it just a little bit more doable, I think it's fair to say.
Nice work by Nameless, rotating around the map. A heads-up play, though, by Nadeshot. Went all the way back to A. Can he win this battle? Is going to get the flags back. Meanwhile, C is being contested. And it looks like at the half, we're going to have our final score about 80 seconds to 71. If it continues in this fashion, Embo is going for B flag control at the very end. Clayster there to support as well, so they will get B at the very end, and it will be the final score and round number 1 of 81 to 73.
Not the biggest lead we've ever seen in a
8 points,
first side
man.
domination. Just 8 points.
That's not much at all if you think about it.
It really isn't. I mean, the very start of the game, you know, if you can try and lock down that B flag and hold it for the first 30 seconds, you know, you're going to reduce that lead pretty much instantly. But, you know, you've got to give that... In fact, you've got to really give both teams some props. I mean, Merc was doing so well just consistently throughout that whole game from start to finish on that first side. And Study really did pick things up as well, which was nice to see, finally finishing 8 and 11. But those 3 caps, you know, you pointed out right at the start of the game, he was, I believe it was 0 and 4 at one point, but still had those 2 important caps, which were really keeping Envy in it at the very start. But an 8-point game so far, Puckett.
So far, very close. This is the 4 seed going up against the number 5 seed. Envy is that 4 seed, and we're going into the second side here as the... Looks like Envy will be hosting here in Domination game number 1. Now, coming into this match, if you were fresh eyes, who would you say has the advantage in your opinion, Benson, when it comes to the respawn game mode?
Oh, that's tough. Because I remember I was watching yourself and the other casters do the pre-game talk and the bracket predictions, and I was sat there and I was thinking, all right, I can see it. I can see where everyone was going. You know, some people said Optic were going to win, some people said they were going to lose. But, you know, you look at, for example, S&D, and a lot of people, I think Optic are going to win the S&D, but I don't. I remember a couple of 5Ks and 2Ks listening in on Envy on their Search and Destroy. All I'm going to say is Rambo and his strats, man. It's
the
scary.
Rambo strats are scary.
It really is scary. So I'm looking for Optic to really get big in the respawn games like Domination. And as well, you have Rambo, I believe, the lead capper in Blitz. That's pretty scary. So that's going to be the decider.
4.63 caps per Blitz game that he's playing online.
Ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm hoping he can try and do a similar thing at LAN. But for me, that's going to be the deciding game type, because I think Optic should take the Domination, Envy should take the Search. All going to come down to the Blitz.
Well, we still have a second side of Domination to go, and we're getting right into the action. Remember, it is Optic Gaming up by 8 points. We're going to start this side off with Envy. I want to see the comeback story, and I want to see if Study can turn his game around. He started off very slow, got some kills in the middle, but in the end, didn't go majorly positive by any means. I want to see him start slaying right up there with the likes of Scumpy and even Clayster.
Yeah, I mean, he is one of those players. For me, it's just about getting Study hyped. As soon as he gets hyped, it's just scary to play against. I mean, he really does become one of the best ARs in the game. And just staying with him off the start, you see him switch out to that thermal, sees one on the B flag. Nicely done there. That was actually Nate trying to get a quick cap. And it's actually looking like it could be a very good start for Envy. Study now lying down. It is going to be contested. It needs to back off, and sadly does fall.
Rambo and Merc trying to still cap B. Merc knows this is a losing battle. He gets out, but Rambo is cleaned up, and just like that, Optic comes charging back by Clayster, leading the way with 4 straight kills.
Yeah, nice start for Clayster there, 4 and 1 now. Just as you give it a little bit of a caster curse there. There's Optic getting a couple of plays down. 3 fell for Envy. So Envy, again, at the start of the game, backs against the wall, so to speak. They do need to try and pick things up a little bit. Nate picks up a knife there, nicely done from him, but it's only going to be him left up, so he's going to need to go big for Optic. Not going to happen. It's going to be Scump off the respawn. Envy should cap the B.
3 men on B right now, a 4th coming to support, and Merc is getting aggressive. He's currently sitting at 4 and 2 with the 1 capture there. Coming behind enemy lines, has number 5, an opportunity for 6 and 7. Takes down Clayster, but players still below, and he is going to be cleaned up through the window. Nice angles here from Optic Gaming to get Merc out of the base. They still have B controlled as Envy, but it's not looking good as Optic is very aggressive here, increasingly pushing up on this map.
Yeah, it's Scumpy that's doing all the aggression on that B flag as well. He was roaming around, picked up a couple of kills, jumped straight on the flag, and you can see top of that leaderboard, he's going to continue his rampage as he picks up one more in the form of Merc. Currently 6 and 3, 2 caps as well, but sadly did just get taken out from the top. And you can just see how close this game is as well. You know, the second side, 28 points to 30 points. It really is going to go down to the wire.
Oh, what a shot from Nade, but a second one will clean him up. Meanwhile, Clayster has been over here on Envy's side of the base the entire time. Will he go for the C flag? More spawners coming up. He has to know this, and he's going to challenge. Gets the call out for 1, gets the help from a teammate, but can't get the contention. So the flag still saying in the base for Envy. Meanwhile, you have Embos up top in their window, trying to be a thorn in their side.
Yeah, I like this play from Embos. Just trying to be a thorn in their side, like you said. You know, trying to cause some problems. He's actually seen a play to the right, and he ended up getting knifed by Nameless, and his body was doing a bit of a jig there. But Nameless, he's a player as well, which we haven't really spoken about. One of my favorite players to watch. So talented. And he's currently 7-9. And I just have a feeling, if Nameless and Study can start getting themselves pumped up a little bit, they can easily come back and take this domination.
Clayster getting up top here in the middle train, finally cleaned up. Nameless, the player you wanted to watch. Here's your opportunity. This is a guy that used to play with Curse Las Vegas, was dropped from that lineup, and Envy happily picked him up. He is an incredible AR, a great communicator when he is on point, and here he is in a gun battle. Gets cleaned up very quickly. Merc on a 3-kill spree, trying to answer back behind enemy lines. He's got one opportunity for two, and another player to his left. Unfortunately, Optic just seems to swarm through this map as a group, and Nameless can't get two. Study caught off guard. Optic, looking at the scoreboard, aren't outslaying by too much, but it's definitely a show being put on by Nadeshot and Scumpy. Scump at 12-6. We'll look at him next.
They're just getting the kills where they need to, and that really is the story of this domination so far. I mean, with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, you've got a 64 to 54 point lead in the second side. Add on the additional 8 points from that first side, and it's looking very good. If you're an Optic fan watching it at home or watching here live, and I just can't see any way back now for Envy. I think it's just going to be too much. The way that Optic is slaying and getting those crucial kills when they need to, it's looking like they're going to have to start thinking about game number 2.
Yeah, Envy's pretty aware of this at this point. There's a minute left, and it's about a 20-point advantage for Optic Gaming. Embo's trying to stop this B flag. Too many guys there from Envy to stop. And now it is Nadeshot's turn, pushing through the middle, throwing back on that Oracle mode. You can see where they're coming from. And now Envy's getting a little bit of life in them, but it's just so late in the game.
Yeah.
40 seconds left on the clock. Let's see if they can win this side, as currently Envy does have control of B and C. And as a player, Benson, you really just want to get some kind of momentum behind your squad, stir up some confidence. Who is that player inside that soundproof booth for Envy to do that?
See, that's the thing. It could be any of them. And that's what I love so much about this Envy lineup. You look at Rambo as the leader figure and Merc as well, both very, very experienced players. But then, Nameless and Study, if they start getting hyped, the whole team is going to get hyped, and it really is going to bring them back. And, I mean, for a first map,
I know someone who's hyped. I can hear Scumpy
I can hear him from here.
Booth.
He's very, very loud. It reminds me of the last Full Sail event where Scumpy was getting very loud.
And now Clayster has joined this lineup, so that may be one of the loudest sound dampening booths I've ever heard. But Optic Gaming, it wasn't a huge margin, but it was enough to take game at number 1. Free domination goes in their favor. Scumpy starting things off 18-10 in that second side with 5 captures to his name. He may be my player to watch in game number 2. Guys, we'll be back. Search and Destroy is game number 2 in the best of 5. First blood drawn by Optic.